Just letting you know, this is only my spoiler first impressions of the episode. Check my pinned comment for a free gift related to this video. And to watch my unfiltered reactions with exclusive bonuses, join my Asha Media TV Club. The link is in the description box below. Now, here's my afterthoughts of this episode of Supernatural. When Dean's optimistic, I guess, that's a bad sign. He's not terrible. Not optimistic, but you know what I mean. Like when he's not arguing you down, he's just like, sure, gotta go to bed, you know? Oh, man. Oh, okay. Well, you know my Ashamoji and it stays. It's definitely at a 5. Okay. Just bear with me here because I gotta break down my thoughts and I don't wanna, and the very mini rant. It's not even a rant. It's not even a rant. It's just an observation and some conflicting feelings I have about it, but at the same time, I appreciate it. It's like, it's the double-edged sword I was trying to sputter out loud there. Okay. So let me break it down here as coherently as possible. So let's start with Cain and Dean. No qualms there. Epic fight. Fantastic lines. Oh my goodness. Yes. Cain stuff. Fantastic. Now, I won't deny I'm a bit surprised it's so soon because when Cain told him to come back for him, it just seemed like that kind of thing that would happen in another season. You know what I mean? Not like, 3, 4, 5 episodes down the road. So, on one hand, it's like, wow, okay, they wrapped that part up, and they did create a shift, which I'm going to get into. And I think I have an idea where they're going. It seemed quite obvious the way they tied in Crowley and his mom and their goal, and their motivations and goals. So, yeah, so on one hand, I was a little surprised that it's wrapped up, but on the other end, it would have been, I think, just as good to have perhaps him recur as something to deal with. But as I'm saying it out loud, no, it actually just makes perfect. Yeah, it's perfect timing. Okay, never mind. It's perfect timing because if you're going to have this whole thing with the mark of Cain related to Dean, it wouldn't make sense to have a prolonged absence of the actual source of this whole situation, and that is Cain. And what Cain represents for Dean to see as a possible inevitability for himself. Like, there's just all of that going on, right? All of that going on. I'll leave it up to those of you who are much better at writing up what I'm trying to say to reflect in the comment section. Okay. Ooh, it is hot. All right, so that's Cain. Fantastic, wonderful, grade A, good stuff. Now, let me tackle Crowley and Rowena. I'm now convinced Rowena was truthful there at the end. Like, there's no reason for her to lie about that. And they're definitely taking a Shakespearean format where you don't know when and how they'll backstab each other. It's just constant manipulation or like a soup of love and hate. That's what they seem like they're going to represent. And with his insecurity with her and her knowing about that insecurity, you know, his mama issues, and perhaps herself, maybe, just maybe, I'm hoping there's a part of her that wants to kind of actually be a better mother in that sense. I don't know. I'm still on the fence with Rowena. I'm not sure yet. But so far from that last monologue, which was fantastic and amazing, it seems as if she genuinely is very disappointed, very angry. And I think now that we've shifted away from Cain, although we have the whole Dean thing going on, we're going to now see them partner up. Like, he's not going to let her leave hell. He's going to be like, okay, stay, you know, all kinds of things. You're right. And they'll likely partner up and he'll help her with her witches coven thing. So essentially, I think it's fair to assume, and I think it's quite predictable, that the next major story will be this coven that she's dealing with in Crowley. And now how the Winchesters are going to be mixed up with that coven. I have a wacky theory, which I'll share at the end, because I can't help but wonder, you know, what is going to be their thing, unless they do a separate story like they did with the angels, and the Winchesters won't have nothing to do with those witches. That's possible, but I have a wacky theory involving them, and I'll mention it in a minute. Okay, so now let me go into my quasi complaint, rantish, whatever. So that moment where he double crosses Crowley,
Dean, I actually felt like this pang of hurt. Like whenever I feel like a sense of, oh, damn. Like I get like a weird throb in my throat. And the moment I saw that, I felt that throb. And that's testament to Mark Sheppard's performance. I mean, his performance was so good that the hurt and disappointment and just the surprise of Dean really just lying about this whole thing and double-crossing him after he genuinely went out of his way to try to help them, you know, to also save himself. I know that. But that whole moment was just like, damn. It reminds me of that scene, and I can't remember the episode. It's the episode, it's the episode where they go and get the blade. I don't remember the number of the episode, so it's there on the screen if I went to go look it up for you. But it reminds me of that moment at the end when Crowley's in front of Sam, and he's like, you know, Moose, did I do good? Did I do good? And there's just that willingness, again, to kind of do good, and they just dismiss it. And I know the arguments, because I read them, and I hear them from coworkers that I talk a little bit with about the show, that Crowley's done so many terrible things, he's the king of hell, you still can't trust him. I know that argument that if he had given him the blade, we don't know how he would have used the blade to weaponize against the Winchesters, yada, 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 yada. I know. But I'm just saying that moment, though, that moment where Crowley really sincerely was trying to help them, and if he had given the blade to Crowley, I guess what I'm trying to say, and you know me, I'm long-winded, sorry. I think they keep showing this on purpose where there are windows of opportunity where someone like Crowley could change. But mistrust, lies, can sometimes prevent that, you know? Because had they given him the blade, I think their relationship, or maybe the trust factor between them altogether, could have worked out a genuine alliance. You know, I think that. Anyways, I can't articulate any more than that. Let me move on now to Sam and Dean. Just a bit, because I don't have much to say on that, except for shit's gonna hit the fan with Dean, and Sam knows it, and he's gonna go in panic mode. And he's going to likely now accelerate all efforts, all whatever, to find a cure for that mark. That's a given. Which leads into my wacky theory now. Okay, it all leads up to that. If we have a desperate Sam, and we know what a desperate Sam is like, don't we? I should know by now, because if I don't damn well know by now, I don't know why the hell I'm watching this show. But I know. We get Travis Bickle Sam. We get obsessive Sam. We get Sam who is going to do anything at this point. So I think that anything will tie itself back to witchcraft, because you're introducing to me a coven of very powerful witches, apparently, and one grand high witch. I remember that one from that movie I mentioned in the last reaction. She's in town, and that's Rowena's adversary, and it seems like it's going to take extraordinary power that only a witch can wield, it seems, in SPN, unless they bring in a new creature or a new type of monster that's more powerful than a witch. Until that happens, I can see Sam now perhaps trying to align himself with the likes of that coven in some way, because they know about the coven, right? And there's going to be some deal where they'll make to use their power to break the mark. It's the only way I could think of how they would mishmash the Winchesters and this coven story narrative. If they do it separately, that's cool too. I wouldn't mind that either, because they did that for the angels. But it still had a consequence that affects everybody else. I guess there's only so far separate they can go. Anyway, so that's my wacky theory. He's gonna get that desperate, and he's gonna make some crazy-ass deal that's gonna have a massive consequence that will, of course, lead into season 11. Because that's the pattern. It leads into the next one. Alright, so, yeah. That's my reaction to this amazing episode, 5 Ashamojis. It's fantastic. It's one of my top favorite episodes altogether. Just, it's wonderful. Really good one. And, Timothy Odmundson, I never say his name right, that look. If I'm not alone on how hot of an older man he looks, with that whole style, share with me in the comments so I don't feel so alone on that one. I'm not into older guys, but I think I'd have coffee with Timothy looking like that. And the hair, the locks, man, that looks really good on him. Okay, anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there because it crossed my mind, of course. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and check out my other videos.